Today we're going to talk about the dashboard and do a quick walkthrough of the dashboard. So in this live training, we're going to, what I just said, cover the dashboard. So this class is for you if you are looking for a way to build your Shaklee business using the internet. You want to learn to use Shaklee specific marketing tools, and you need help getting around your YFP back office. So if any of those apply to you, then you're in the right place. So here's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to find your way around the back office, specifically on the dashboard, how to find your notifications and your profile menu, how to navigate the modules that are in the center, and I'm sure a few more extra tidbits. So before we jump into that, a little bit about YFP. So your Freedom Project is a 360-degree ecosystem of tools and training that can help you find new builders, find new customers, and increase sales and retention. YFP addresses the 3 specific areas that builders struggle with in Shaklee. So first one is not knowing where to go to find people to talk to. And the second one is not knowing what to do with the people they find. And third, not having a formula or a plan to stay on track and measure success. So YFP supports your growth in 3 main ways with tools, training, and support. So we're going to jump on live. I'm going to stop my screen share. I'm going to go into my back office and we're going to review the profile menu, the upper navigation bar, the actions button and how it all works together and how you can utilize it, the center modules, and the side navigation. So let me switch over my share screen. One second. If I remember, there we go. Okay, so here we go. So from the dashboard. So the first thing we want to talk about, which I find is one of the more important spots, is your profile. So your profile is the top right-hand corner. Now, if you're on with me on Zoom, you may have a video pane in the way that you might have to move out of the way. And if not, that's all right. One thing that I do is I just exit full screen, so then everybody shows up at top. You don't have to worry about moving video panes. But underneath this profile photo, and if you don't have a profile photo in here yet, I'll show you where you can add one. But when you click on here, there's a bunch of different options. So you can view your profile and do any updates. So if you change your email address, want to change your password, that type of thing, new photo. There's the billing where you can see what subscriptions you have with YFP. And you can also, if you need to cancel anything or switch anything, that's where to do it. There's your preferences. There's also my products, so you can see which products you have. And then if you have Networkers University, so if you have any of the bundles, whether it's the basic, the advanced, or the ultimate, Networkers University is included. If you have the Super Starter, you'd have to purchase it as a separate subscription. But you'll know if you have it, if you have the My Courses tab there. The admin panel doesn't count because that's just for me. And then this is also where you log out. So let's start with profile. So when you click on profile, this is where you're going to come to. And you can have, so this is all, the first part you'll stop at is the personal section where it has your email address that's on file. So the email address that's up there, that's the one that you're going to get notifications saying that somebody has somebody has signed up for your wellness center, you have someone who's downloaded an ebook, somebody has registered for your online event, and also you will get the notifications for when your newsletter is ready so that you can go in and edit, or your weekly wellness email. All right, so then moving down, where the photo is, this is where you can add or edit your photo. So if you don't have a photo here, you should have a big add button. If you have one and maybe you need to update it, you just click on edit and it'll walk you through. You can either edit the photo if you need to zoom out or zoom in or change anything there, or you would go through add a photo or change photo and it'll pop up here, where then you would go on your computer and choose a photo that you'd like to replace it with. I'm not changing mine just yet. I still at least got another 6 months out of that photo. All right, putting in your address. This is very important, and actually everybody will have it in there. So make sure that if you move that you change it, because this is what's going to integrate on your email marketing so that all of your emails that go out due to, I guess they're not really new CAN spam laws anymore, but they're the CAN spam laws that came in, you have to have a mailing address at the bottom of your email. We integrate it for you. You don't have to worry about it as long as that's filled in. So just make sure that if you're moving, that this is up to date. And then the last part is putting in your Shaklee PWS. And this is something that the elves will help you with because there is a sponsor ID code that they need to, and I think it's decode it so that when people go to your website, then there's no risk of ever losing a lead because they get bumped around, which was something that we struggled with at the beginning with the new Shaklee websites, but it seems that they've mitigated that quite nicely. Okay, so coming over to the social section, I didn't want to open all of these because my tabs would have been crazy. This is where you would put in any of your social media accounts that you currently use. If you don't, it doesn't mean you have to have them all. If you don't have Twitter, don't worry about it. If you don't have YouTube, don't worry about it. But this is where you put those links in so that in all of your lead capture websites, on your hub site, it has all your social spaces so that people can go check you out on your social spaces and connect with you on whichever social space they utilize. And then integration. So if you have Zoom or Pinterest, which we'll just give it a second here. There we go. So if you have a Pinterest, you would paste the script here. There is a learn more if you're not sure how to do it with a walkthrough guide of how to integrate your Pinterest into your YFP. Same thing for Zoom. If you have a Zoom account, then this is where you would put your Zoom ID. If you're not sure what your Zoom ID is, you'll have to log into Zoom and the code will be, it'll tell you what your meeting ID is. And you put it in there and then you can use this little button up at the top that looks like a video camera and you can start a quick meeting right from your YFP back office. Okie dokie. So moving over to billing. Again, this is just where you see what it'll break down your billing. So you have the billing info for all of whatever you're using, and it'll tell you which payment provider you're using. If you want to check out your subscriptions, whatever are reoccurring subscriptions, they're going to come in under here. Purchases, those are for like one-time purchases. So for example, business cards or yeah, so like business cards or a specific class. If you know, back before we had NWU, we would you'd purchase a class at a time, those type of things. So those will be one-time purchases and you can view the invoices and print them off as well. And then for payment history, for tax purposes, of course, for payment history, this will show you all of your payment status for all of your subscriptions. So you can go in and grab all of those invoices for tax purposes. Okay. And then the last one under your profile is your preferences. We'll just hold on a second. Am I going too fast for everyone or is everyone able to watch okay? Remember, this is recorded and it will be in the YFP group. So you can come in and rewatch it. Okay, so the first one is, well, actually, why did I start there? General. We want to go back to general. Un momento. Okay, so under general, this is where you would select if you're working solo or if you're working as a group. So it'll just change on your website from saying about me to about us, whatever it is. So if you're working as a couple or a team, you can switch it to group and it'll say about us in those sections and the verbiage will change to accommodate that. Email notifications. So this is where you want your email notifications sent. So you have your primary email. If you want your response forms to go somewhere else, your from address for your email marketing. Remember that if you want to do email marketing, you have to have a branded email account or a purchased email account. You cannot use a Yahoo, a Google, or any type of free account. So if you don't have one, get in touch with one of the elves. They'll help you with that. They're $25 a year. With them, you have to have a domain that matches it. So my domain is KristenLouise.com and my email address is Kristen@KristenLouise.com. They have to have something attached there. And the domains are $25 a year as well. So again, get together with the elves and they'll help you do that. And then for your PayPal, depending on, of course, how you do payments through YFP, I do mine through PayPal, so I put my PayPal stuff in there. Okay, so that's the profile spot. So the next thing we're going to talk about here, if I go back to, actually I could just close that and we'll come back here and minimize that. Good. So the next part we're going to talk about are the little widgets up at the top here. And I'm going to just start from over at the profile. So the search, this is if you need to search a specific contact. So let's go Monica. So if I'm looking for Monica, then I can see all of the Monicas that I have in my contact list. And it'll take you, when you click on their name, it'll take you directly to their contact info. The help button or the help center, that one takes you into, I'll just open it up, takes you into the help center, which is where you submit a ticket, where you can view your tickets. This is also where you can book an appointment or chat with an ELF. So if you're having a technical challenge with YFP, we know they happen, tech is fun that way. Please make sure you submit a ticket for that, and then the elves can track it. If you post it in the group, we can't track it. It can easily get looked over because of how the group works with posting. So the best thing to do is to submit a ticket if you're having a technical challenge. I do recommend bookmarking the help center, because if something happens, and I know I've had this happen, this was a long time ago, it hasn't happened since, but if something happens where the site's down, the help center is usually still available and you can still submit a ticket. And then 2, this is also where you can search help articles. So if you're, or you can search it by what you're looking for. So if you need help with any of the billing, setting up your profile, email marketing, any of these things, these all have help center articles attached to them with a walkthrough with visuals, with screenshots to help you walk through those things. Okay, close that back down. So that's the help. Oops. There we go. Notifications bell. This is where when somebody sends you a message, maybe on your hub site, they download an ebook, they, I'm just thinking about things, register for your live events or for the webinars, you'll get a notification here saying that they've done that. And you'll get a quick view of what happens when you click on it, but then you can also see all notifications when you click on that, and it'll bring it up big screen. But here you can see, you know, Rita's downloaded the vitamin checklist, Harvey downloaded the 7 big secrets. So it just helps you keep track, and it lets you know when people have created an account in the Wellness Center. And it also lets you know for the Learn and Earn, it'll give you a notification saying that somebody has completed a video and submitted a review. What else does it do? Yeah, that covers the notifications. All right, so we'll close that one. Shopping cart, pretty simple. If you're needing a service or there's something else you want to add on, this is where it's housed. If you don't have anything in the shopping cart and you need to get there quickly, you just click on Go Shopping and it'll open you up to where you can look at all of our different products and services. All right, the email or the inbox, that's the inbox to your branded email account or your Freedom email. So if you have a purchased email, you would click on that and it would open it up to where you can sign in to that email. However, if you are more comfortable using Outlook or Google, I don't know how it works with Yahoo, but with Google and Outlook, we can actually integrate your branded email into your Google or Outlook inbox. The elves can definitely help you with that. So if you need that done, so then if you have it on your phone, I have mine go to my phone, so I don't always have to log into this separate email. I can just go in through my Outlook and my other account is attached to it. And if that sounds really confusing, which yes, sometimes it can be, no fret, get with one of the elves, they'll help you do that. Okay, and we talked about the Zoom. So right from here, you can launch a quick meeting, schedule a meeting, or go straight to your Zoom account. And as long as you have that in that preferences section under your profile and you put your Zoom ID in there, then you can do all of that right from here. Okay, I'm just trying to figure out where to put my videos. Here we go. I'm gonna stick you guys over there. So the next part on the top nav is the actions button. This is the place to be. This is if you want to do anything that's productive for your business, this is where it is. So when you click on the actions button, there's 2 sections. There's the add and the create. So adding, you can add a note for a contact. So if you need to add a note for a contact, it'll open it up. You type in the person's contact as long as they're in your, oops, Monica, there we go. As long as they're in your YFP contact manager, then they will show up here and you can create a note. So maybe you need to do a follow-up with the person, or you had an interaction with them, you say dropped off samples so that you've done it. Or if something's come up and you've had a chat with them and there's been a new trajectory for what Shackley could bring for them. So maybe I considered Monica for product, and all of a sudden it's come up that now she's out of work and is looking for something that I could put on their op prospect. And you could type in more things as to why and put in more detail. And then you go create note and it'll sync it up. So then when you go into your contact manager, which we'll show you in just a moment, it'll show you all of the notes that you've done with that person, so you can track where they are, what you've done with them. So then you're not having to second guess. This is great too when you're taking somebody through the EO and you can say, okay, they've done modules 1 and 2. Next time, when you get together with them that you're on module 3, so there's no guessing. The other thing it's going to do is, if you notice in the middle here, and let me actually grab my annotate tool. I keep forgetting about this. This will make life so much easier for you guys. I'll move that over there. There, can you see that okay? My cute little spotlight. So underneath the prospecting activities, all of those notes are going to show up, and you'll get a quick overview of what you've done with people, so you can see it at a glance. And then if you view all activities, it'll give you the full sheet. So that's adding a note. If you need to add a new contact, so you've met somebody, you've created a connection with somebody, and maybe they're a potential that you'd want to work with in the future, add them as a new contact. All you really need is their first and last name. If you don't have their phone or email, that's fine. Maybe you've touched base with them on Facebook, so you would just put in their info. So I'll use my brother with my email. Phone, and then whatever they'd be a prospect. So maybe they're a prospect or a product only client, or maybe there's another reason that you've made that touch base with them, and you can write a note for them as well, create a contact, and they'll show up in your contact manager. Now, adding them as a contact does not add them as an email subscriber. They will not be subscribed to your weekly emails through the add new contact. So just keep that in mind. If you meant to do it as an email subscriber, then you would use the email subscriber button. And the reason you might want, so here's the difference, is if you have a new contact, you're just adding them as a contact so that maybe in the future there's a potential that they can come into your emails. But if you have an email subscriber, that means you have expressed consent from that person that yes, they want to receive emails from you. And the new contact is no, you don't have express permission to send them emails yet, but it could happen in the future and you just want to track what's happening with them. So for the add email subscriber, it'll explain exactly what's going to happen. So this person will be added to your contact manager. They're being subscribed to your email list. And this will also create a Wellness Center account for them automatically. They are going to get a notification email letting them know. This is why it's important you get express consent. And it'll tell them exactly what's going on. It'll give them the way to access it with a temporary password, which if they choose to keep it, it's fine. And just FYI, the temporary password is always wellness. And it'll explain to them how to go in and change their password if they choose to. So they will get that notification. All right. So you just have to make sure that these contacts have given you consent, and then go next, and then put in their credentials. And you can choose whether they have business topics or wellness topics. So if they're a new distributor and you're bringing them onto your team, you want them to get both. If they're just wanting wellness topics, then they get wellness topics if that's their interest. Or if it's somebody who has said, yeah, I'm interested in the business, yes, you can put me on your newsletter, then you would tick both as well as a prospect for business, but make sure that they know what's happening. Then you go subscribe and they would automatically be subscribed. Okay, so that's that side. And then if you're uploading, so for first time upload, if you need to grab all of your Shackley contacts, again, the elves are going to help you with this. You'd use this function here, and it would be uploading your whole Shackley list. And we only allow you to upload lists if they're from your Shackley back office who have purchased in the past, are members, distributors, or retail customers. You cannot take personal lists that you maybe have in say your Yahoo or Gmail, whatever it might be, that are just personal contacts, and add them in here. Because if they haven't expressed consent that yes, they want the emails and they are all of a sudden on this list, there is a hefty fine if they report you. It's definitely not, especially in Canada, we're extra sticky up here. So it's only for Shaklee contacts or people who have expressed consent that yes, they want to receive your emails. All right. So next, under the actions button, the other things you can do is create a task. So if there's a task you need to do, you can also attach it to a specific contact if need be, or maybe it's just a task for yourself that you need to do, but if you need to connect it to a contact, you can. What else? Creating an appointment. So maybe you've booked an appointment with one of your contacts and you would just put it in there and it'll show up under your upcoming activities, which we'll jump to in just a moment. There's also, if you need to send an email, which will open up your email campaign, so then you can go ahead and send a campaign email. This isn't meant for one-to-one. This is if you want to send out a mass email to your entire list. There's also online event. So if you're creating your own online event, this is the place to do it. Make sure that it shows up in your hub site's calendar if you're having it as a public event, so people who go to your hub site can see that's coming and they can tune in. And then the last one is for those of you who have a blog, you can actually create a blog post. When you click on this, it'll take you straight into the blog module. I don't know if it's the module, but it'll take you right into the blogging where you can get started. So you don't have to do 5 steps to get there. You can use the actions button and go blog. And I tell you, for bloggers, if you have the blog, this has been a lifesaver for me, because I would think about blogging. I'm like, oh, I got to go through this step and wait for it to load and then go through this step and wait for it to load. This just made it so much faster. And it's just a fantastic little add-on for if you have the blog. Okay, moving over to the left, we have the website's quick view. So this gives you a map of all of your web spaces, from your hub site at the beginning. If you have a blog, it's off to the side, your wellness center, and then it has your webinar registration pages and your lead capture. So we have the business focus, which the first one that's going to be there will be the EO. And when you click on any of these links, it'll open that right up for you if you want to just go in and check it. You can't edit from here. You can just view them from here. If you do need to edit, you can either use the edit websites, which will take you into the editor where you can go in and pick, edit what you need to. And that's the website's quick view. We also have a social quick view. So depending on what social spaces you have, it'll only show you the ones that you have in your profile. And if you need to edit your social spaces, again, you can just click here. Well, this will just show you what you have if you need to jump to them really quickly. There's the calendar, which when you click on that will bring you up to the calendar, and all of the YFP events are going to be in here, like Marketing Monday. We have the science talk. It lets you know when the articles and the newsletters are coming out. And of course, we have Shaklee Conference booked in for Friday, not Thursday, Friday. All right. And this is also too where you can add appointments into your calendar. And really what should happen is that it should all integrate with your iCal or your Google Calendar. And if you need help with that integration, again, get with the elves. They can give you a hand with that. So we'll come back over to tasks. So this is where you can get a full view of all of the tasks that you have and when they're due. So any task that you've created, they're all going to show up here so you can track them. Coming over to the activity manager, this is where you can track your learn and earn and any prospecting. So if you have prospecting activities that you've put in there, so if you've created a contact, for example, and you've put them as a prospect, they're going to show up here and you can see all of the created notes for each person. Moving over, there's the learn and earn tab, which might take a second here. And I'll open this one up. Well, that one's not going to be as important. But here's the learn and earn. So if you have someone going into the wellness center, you want to turn on the learn and earn, you would click this button, and let me see, who can I test this on? Oh, the doctor is already turned on. I will turn it on for my friend Tamara. So for Tamara, if you're needing to turn it on for somebody, you turn it on, It's going to send them a notification email letting them know that you've turned it on, how to log in, and where to find all the info. And then you would click confirm, and that button is going to go, once it loads, might take a second, from on to off. Great. And then if the email didn't go through, you can resend it, and it'll also show you, so if you look at the doctor here, you can go in and see what items they have reviewed and what their review comments are. So there we go. The Shackley difference is the video that they watched, and here's your comments. By the way, this is not this. I wouldn't consider this as a valid comment to to pass. This was just for a quick test. Make sure that you set the parameters if you're taking someone through the Learn and Earn, and we're going to do a whole training on the Learn and Earn coming up shortly, so I'm not going to go into that here, but make sure you set up the parameters for what's going to be an acceptable feedback in the comments. Okay, so that covers the Learn and Earn and the activity tracker. And then the last one up top here is the contacts, which is this right here. So when you click on the contacts, you're going to pop here, and this is going to show you all of your contacts, whether they're subscribed to your emails or not. So for example, here's Monica. So she's not subscribed. It'll tell you if they're subscribed or not. It'll tell you what lead source they've come from. Now, obviously, if you've added them in yourself as a contact, they're not going to have a lead source. They'll be not subscribed, and there won't be anything in here. But everyone else will show you where they've come from and how they got to your list. And then when you click on a person, actually, I'm going to use Monica. Oh, no, I'll use Frances. That's fine. We'll use Frances. She's a very nice lady. But when you click on the person, then you can see a full view of what they need. All of the notes you've created for them is going to show up here on the left-hand side. If you need to edit their contact info, you use this little edit button, and it'll pop it up where you can add in any of the info you get as you get it. Make sure you click update contact, or else you have to do it again. And if they're not subscribed to email, then you can subscribe them. Oh, I can't because there's no email. It won't update them. But what would happen, let me just go back to my other contact here. We'll go to Nora. Oops, okay, give it just 1 second here. But if they're subscribed, you can edit their subscription if you need them to be unsubscribed or switch them to business. And again, just make sure you update them. Okay, so that covers contacts and the whole upper nav. Whoops, there we go. So down the left-hand side, we're not actually going to open all of these up because it's one thing that I really encourage is that you go in here and play around and see where things go, but I'll explain how they go. So dashboard obviously is going to bring you to the dashboard, which is the main spot. Marketing is anything that has to do with marketing. So you can view your email broadcasts from here and edit them. Same with your e-newsletter. You can also check out your email campaigns. That one I will open because that's important. And you can also go into your event manager. There's also the content calendar, opportunities, and ManyChat. There we go. So email campaigns will show you all of your campaigns, and you can go and check out stats. And to check out the stats, you click on the title of the campaign, and it'll open it up where then you can see how many opens there were. And if you go to detailed statistics, you can see exactly who opened. You can see who bounced. And we are going to cover this in more detail in another class too. So just hold tight there. All right, I'm going to close that one off. Under the marketing, this is where you can see where anyone who's registered for your events. So for events that have come up, you'll have your upcoming will be the first section. Your past events will be up here. And when you click on your past events, it will show you, wait for it. There it is. It'll show you all of the past events, how many registrants there were. And when you click on the number of registrants, it'll show you exactly who they are. So then if you can follow up with them directly. So there we go. So this was a while ago. This was in January of 2019. So that one, I wouldn't follow up with them now. But for any of the new ones, you can follow up and say, you know, were you able to get on live? And if they weren't, make sure that you can help them find the replay. Okay. So that's the marketing tab. The business center tab. So business center home is going to take you into the training center. Business files takes you into the file cabinet. You have the EO gateway and the EO module. So the gateway is the first page. I'll open these up so you can see. We also have the recommended reading. There's YFP basic training. This is also another spot where you can enter your Networkers University course library. And then we also have the old classrooms in here, which are going to be phased out soon. So if you're not using the EO yet, get comfortable with it. You will appreciate it much, much more, believe me. Okay, so if we go home, so the home button is going to take you into the business center. So this is for you as training. We have all of our archive training in here. We also have the YFP 101 bootcamp. We are going to be doing another session of that coming up, I believe, in October or November, just to update it as we go. But this is where you find, you know, mobile is the new rich, all of our wealthy webinars, those types of things in here. Okay. And then business files brings you into all of the PPTs, the presentations that we've done in the past. If there's any that they don't have, so for example, this one here, where you can't grab the PPT directly, reach out to the team and they'll get it to you. We don't have some of them up here because they are branded specifically for the presenter, like Dr. Browse, so they would just go in and change it up to be for you. That's where you can grab those. And then if I go back to business files, give it a second, there we go, business files. Scripts and forms is the next one. So if you haven't found your YFP business blueprint, it's also in scripts and forms, it'll be the top one. You can also find your activity guide, your team building chart, your branding strategy, social funnel strategy. We also have initial contact scripts if you're doing cold, well, even if you're doing warm calls, that type of thing. We do have scripts in there that you can utilize. We have the marketing funnel strategy, ways to generate traffic, and also web properties. And then the last one up at the top here is virtual backgrounds. So like this guy behind me, which we know isn't my real office, but you can grab the YFP backgrounds as well. So if you have a green screen or want to utilize backgrounds, we have ones that are YFP focused, ones that are wellness project focused, and then we have ones that are focused towards holidays, and we'll keep uploading more as the team creates them as well. Okay. All right, that's the business files. So EO Gateway, this button here is going to bring you to the first page of the EO where the person would click to watch videos, and then they'd be brought into the tour. So I do recommend going through a little bit of this so that you can get comfortable with the flow if you're not quite sure of it yet. But then you can go through, I do recommend going through and watching the videos so you know what the videos are. And then when you're having conversation with your prospect, you can say, you know, I really love this part. You know, what did you really like about it? So you can have more of a back and forth conversation. EO modules will take you actually into the modules section. And again, highly recommend going through and listening to the videos on here. You can even listen to it on your phone as you're washing dishes. A lot of the visuals can help, but if you want to multitask, you can. But just so you have an idea of the content that's in there. Recommended reading, which of course we know leaders are readers. So we've compiled a fantastic list of books that we recommend reading, and everything from prospecting and networking to network marketing in general, leadership and development, and then of course nutrition and wellness if you so desire, you want to dive into that more. And it will take you to where you can purchase them on Amazon, I believe. All right, back to the dashboard, the YFP Basic Training 101. Let me close those out 1 second. So again, that takes you just back into the business center where we were. Actually, no, it doesn't. Sorry. It takes you into just a quick step-by-step of getting orientated, the overview, getting set up, and then you can follow along with each one. There's videos in there to help you get more comfortable with YFP. Okay, on to the Wellness Center tab. This is where you can view your sign-up page. You can also go and visit your Wellness Center through the home and the Discover, either one. So the home is going to take you to what's new or newest, and the Discover is going to take you to where you can search. So I'll just let those load for a second. There's also wellness files, which are PDFs that you can hand out, and it'll also take you to where you can see what the content is for the Learn and Earn. So let's start up for the sign up page up top here. It'll take you to what your sign up page will look like and where you can send out the URL. The home will take you actually into the Wellness Center, and it's going to give you all the different categories. And up at the top will be the most recent articles, or you can search by archived newsletters, archived events, and any new videos. And the videos in there are mostly Shaklee videos that we've taken off Shaklee TV. Close that one down. The Discover tab will take you in here where it will be the newest from top to bottom. And to share any of the content from here, when you click on the actual item that you're wanting to look at, there's this share button right here. You can copy the link, which when you copy this link, see how it has this code of $source equals share, whereas if you look up at the top where the actual URL is, it's not there. So when you copy it, you're copying with this extra little code at the back, which means people, whomever you're sending it to, they'll be able to come in and watch that video without having to create a Wellness Center account. But if they want to come back and watch more, then yes, they will have to create a Wellness Center account. And then you can also share to Facebook, which when you open it up to share to Facebook will bring you here, where you choose up at the top where you want to share it. So it'll automatically default to your newsfeed, your personal newsfeed or story. But then if you want to switch it, you can choose to share it in one of your groups, on a page you manage, or even in a private message to somebody. So if you're like, you know that Sally Sue wants this specific video, you can send it to her in a private message, and you would just type in, I don't have a Sally Sue on mine. I have a Sally Ann though, and a Sally Harkins. So then you would just select the person and hit send in message. At the very, very bottom is where it is, this long blue bar. If I move that out of my way. And that'll be the same for if you're posting to a specific, so if we say, let's post it on a page, and I want my page, it'll be that same blue button, but it'll say post to Facebook, and that'll post it directly. All right, so we'll close that. Yes, I would like to leave the site. So that's how you use the share function. And that's for any of the articles, webinars, archived events, all of it. You can share any of it through that little function. All right, the last one here is the wellness files, which gives you all of the PDFs. So we have PDFs of the ebooks are in here, which are quick to download. Same with any of the Leaner for Life recipes that we did back in January. Vitamin checklist, a couple of the very important ones. There is the Get Clean ingredient chart and the Get Clean ingredient list in here. So for if you have clients who want to know what the ingredients are and why they get used, that's where it is. This next one here, if you've ever read, and I just had it in here too. Let me see, where did I hide it on myself now? I hid it. The Little Red Book, but I must have put it back on the bookshelf. Of a study course in nutrition. If you've ever had that book, where on earth did I stick it? That's okay. I'll show it to you guys next time. But we've taken that whole book of a study course in nutrition, Dr. Shaklee's A Study Course in Nutrition, and made a digital copy of it so that you can pass that out as well for anyone who's interested in it. This next one here, which products do you use, is very critical. It gives people a list of different types of products. So if they use a multivitamin, B vitamin, or they use, shampoo, conditioner, so they can check off what they use, and right next to it, and I know we're going to cover this in the Wellness Center walkthrough. I'm probably doing this a little more in depth than I need to, but it'll give you, it'll give them Shaklee products that then they could switch over. So my belief is that every distributor that you bring on has to go through this checklist so that they can start Shakleeizing their home. And customers too, if they're open to really Shakleeizing. Okay, so that's the Wellness Center. The next one is going into my websites. So this is where if you need to edit your websites, change the phone number, change the name, change whatever you need to change in it, this is where it is. So you'll come to the site layout, and then up at the top, you can pick the specific website that you need to edit. So let's take HubSite. And I know we're going to do this later too, so I'll just do a quick show. But this is where you can come in and you can use the edit function in there. The next one is insights. We all love data and stats. So when you click on the insights, you can actually see a breakdown of all of the different web properties that you have. So your hub site, when it gets there, there we go. So hub site, your mini office outlets, your blog, the opportunity, all of the web spaces that you have through YFP are in here, and they get tracked, so you can see you know, how much traffic you're getting, all that good stuff. And you can filter it by week, monthly, or yearly. The getting started, or sorry, the setup wizard, that, close that down. There we go. The setup wizard is for making sure that you have everything set up you need to. Some of the things you won't be able to finish. That drives somebody with a little bit of OCD a little crazy, especially the websites or the domain, because if you have a Shackley shop domain, so I have my KristenLouiseShop.com, it won't actually tell me that I've completed it because it doesn't sync up with there. See, it'll say I still need to set it up. I can't set it up because it's not set up within YFP. You have to set it up within Shackley, and it won't actually do it. The next one is the getting started videos. So if you're needing a little bit of a refresher on what YFP is about, the key fundamentals, the 4 key strategies, these are a great place to start. And I usually get everybody who's new to YFP to watch this. Actually, not usually, I do. And so if you haven't watched those yet, definitely go back and have a look at those. Okay, in the middle, and then we're gonna call it a day. So in the middle, so up at the very top, this is where all of the trainings happen. You can use this enter class button to just enter the classroom and join me or Jody or whomever is running the training that day in the actual Zoom room. It'll just open it up for you. In the middle, this is your prospecting activities. And I guess I should cover this at the very, very top. At the very, very top of the dashboard here in the middle, there's the YFP Business Blueprint. So you don't have to go into business files. You can grab it right from your dashboard. Moving down, there's also the join our Facebook groups. If you haven't looked at this, please do, because it helps map out the different groups and what they're used for. So we have the YFP product group. So we have YFP and Networkers University. And then the prospecting groups, this is the one that's very critical. And it breaks down what each group is used for and who would be ideal to add into each one. You can also watch the strategy and also download the guide. When it comes to Shackley groups, these are the different ones for, there's the Shackley effect and then the 7-day cleanse. I know Shackley has more groups, but these are the ones that we love the most. And we try not to confuse you too much. All right, so then we have the prospecting activities, so you can just track what you've done with people. In the middle, this was where you will find if they're, so for example, your wellness webinar, you can view the page, and this is also where you can see the registrants. You can also share right from here. So you can either copy the link or share it to Facebook, just like in the Wellness Center. This is also where you will see if your monthly newsletter is ready or your weekly email. And when you click right on the subject that's in blue, it'll take you into where you can do any edits. And it'll also let you know when it has sent. Your upcoming activities. So this is all of the activities from what you can offer to prospects to what we also offer for training. So for example, we have the science talk tomorrow. Yep, with Dr. Cheney. It's letting you know that your Wellness Center article is going to be, the new one will be out on the 24th, letting you know the next Marketing Monday, when the sneak peek is. And then if you want to view all tasks, you click on that and it'll give you a full view of what's coming up for the next month. And this is also too, if you're creating appointments or tasks, they're going to show up in here as well. For what's new, so anything that has been archived, this is what's going to tell you where it's archived. So it's saying here that the product spotlight for the Mineral Defense SPF 30 Day Cream is now archived in the Wellness Center. The Blogging Reincarnated is now archived in the Business Center. It'll also tell you if there's any new Help Center articles that have been archived. And you can also view it by category. So if you're needing to know what Help Center articles are there, and those are for you specifically if you need help with navigating anything, you can filter it by just Wellness Center and you can filter it by just Business Center. And then at the very, very bottom, we have the Find New Builders card, which is select a business funnel. This will take you directly to the Explore opportunity. Right there. There's also one if you're still using the mini office outlets original classrooms, you can still do that there. But again, those are going to be getting phased out within the next few months. So if you haven't started using the new funnel, give it a shot and get comfortable with it, because those classrooms will be disappearing. For finding new prospects, or sorry, for finding new customers, so guide your product prospects here will take them to the wellness center, or take you to the wellness center where you can share the link. You can also add a subscriber from here. So when you add a subscriber, that means they've given you express consent that yes, they want to receive your emails. And then increasing sales and retention. So there's gives you some ideas on what you can do to help do that. So invite people to the next live event, and this will show you where the next live event is. Promote your wellness center content. That will take you to the wellness center where you can do that. Actually, this will take you to the event calendar and show you what's coming. Promote your lead magnets. So if you're not sure what a lead magnet is, those are any of the free ebooks. So the What Your Doctor Wasn't Taught in Med School, the vitamin checklist. Here we go. Open it up. These are all of the different lead magnets that you can use. So if you're doing something on social media, like a live video, and you're talking about food supplements, maybe giving the vitamin checklist as a freebie would be a nice thing to do. And the cool thing is when they, the reason it's called a lead magnet is because if they want to download it, they put in their information, which is just their email and their name. It'll get emailed to them, but then they're also getting subscribed to your email list. And then promoting your blog post. So that'll take you into your blog, so you can pick a blog post that you want to promote. And then the last part, the two little cards here. So there's the Wellness Center Home. So again, to promote the Wellness Center stuff. And then the Business Center, and that's for it's intended for your new distributors and even prospective distributors. Okay, I think we covered a lot. How's everybody's brain? Is it melty? Have I melted you? I'm hoping not. And again, this is recorded. This is also live streaming into the YFP group at the moment, so you can go back and watch it instantly again if there's anything you want to come back and cover. So with that, I am going to share my slides again, and we'll end it off and go enjoy the rest of our Tuesday. There we go. So share screen and just give me a thumbs up that you can see. Whoops. That. Okay, perfect. So first off, I just want to thank you. Thanks, Dolores. I just want to thank you all for being here, for coming back to our YFP 101 training. So these are going to be every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, either done by myself or Maura. And we're just going to take you through a section of YFP each time so that you can so it can help you get comfortable with navigating and hopefully answer any questions that might be lingering. So if you are just looking at YFP and you're not sure and you want to give it a try, you can start by taking a 30-day test drive of My Freedom Builder, which is the email marketing system. You can do that by going to yourfreedomproject.com/start. You can view all of our products by going to yourfreedomproject.com/shop and clicking on the products. And you can also check out all of our live events that are coming up by going to yourfreedomproject.com/events. Whoops, there we go, move that out of my way. And move that out of my way. There we go. We got it. So if you'd like to talk to one of our friendly support elves, you can, whoops, back that up a little bit. You can stay updated in our YFP Business Facebook group. You can submit a ticket. You can give us a call. You can book an appointment or chat with an elf. So to get support, visit the help center at yourfreedomproject.com/help. And I do highly recommend marking that page. So with that, I want to thank you all for being here this afternoon or morning, whatever it might be for you.